Okay, Gary, what you see here is your DC to DC charger, your MPPT controller, your 3000 watt inverter is behind there, and your two 200 amp hour lithium batteries. And your right here is the voltage, the amp monitor that's up the front. You can see the cables here coming out of the battery. They're fused, 300 amp fuse here, and 300 amp fuse going from the main fuse, the main switch was into your inverter. So everything is well protected here. Here's the main isolation switch for the kill power, basically coming from the battery to the whole system. So there's your DC buzz bar, negative, and the red is positive. Here is your switch for the solar. So remember that if you're going to work on anything and you want to isolate the switch, make sure you isolate that as well, so that there's no voltage going through. You can see the monitor here, that it's, what is it doing? It's 0.5 of an amp at 14.4 volts. Now this is a bit cloudy today, but all that's doing is topping up the batteries, or keeping them topped. And because that light is on here, and there's one or two lights in the van, that's all the solar is doing. So you won't see huge voltage going in when the batteries are full. It's only just basically ticking over. What you have here is your switches for the water heater. Now it comes, the plug comes out of here obviously, and then it goes to an isolation switch by the fridge, and then comes back to here. You may have to adjust the water temperature in here. Actually, you get a system whereby you don't want it to boil, just getting it just enough. Yours 10 litres. Here's your pump, your water pump, your expansion vessel. Here is the DC controller for the solar, excess solar, again from a switch above that I'll show you later on. Here is a fuse panel. You can see that there are spare points in it. If you want to run anything down here. This is relay switch that I'll just say that this will turn on when it senses that the batteries are full and that there's excess power there. It'll turn it on automatically. These are things you don't have to adjust. It'll turn on automatically to heat the water. You can do it manually, or you can on the 220, or you can do it, leave it go automatic. Here is your drain, for to drain the tank and to drain the system. You need to turn off the pump, open all the taps, and come down here, open there, and the system will drain as you're on your way home. That's about all for here. These panels slide back in then. When you're finished, you can see everything is fused. There's the size of the fuse. None of these should blow, or you're going to have trouble, I suppose, every now and again. You're going to make a balls or something. You can see the black plug is for the microwave. The other plug is from the fridge. Now what I'll be doing is I'll actually turn them on now. Yeah, this is if I can reach it. And most like you can leave them turned on. You just, when you're finished your journeys, whatever, just open the fridge, turn it off from inside the fridge. The microwave will obviously be off, and just make sure that the DC and the 220 volt going to the water heater is turned off, and you should never need to go at them. So that's the rack. Right, I'll talk to you again when I get to the front. Oh yeah, the water, right, 61 litre water tank. When you're filling this, you probably use a garden hose and something. Do not shove the hose down here. Stand here, hold it. It'll take between 5 and 10 minutes to fill. Do it slowly, because it will get airlocked and you'll have water spilling out here. Do not stick the hose in. If the hose has been there for any length of time, you think, especially on a campsite and stuff like that, leave the hose run for 5 minutes. Well, a couple of minutes. Make sure there's no water. The water that is in the hose is expelled, and it is fresh water that you're putting in, not water that's been in the hose for a couple of days. When you're draining the system, obviously you drain it from here, turn on all your taps, and make sure you drain this loop. If it is hanging up here, make sure you drain it, because that will freeze in the winter. I cannot emphasize enough that you have to drain the system for the winter. Frost is the major cause of leaks in fans. Right, back again. As far as I know, these three are spare. They are wired from here to the back of the van. You'd find them. Obviously, water pump, the fan, the running lights. These are 2 switches for the lights. And this is the main trip switch, so to speak. If it trips, these are the trip switches. Just press it, and if it doesn't come back on, check the fuses. But try this one first. You know about the fan. You know, in and out. Open the windows. Make sure the glass is up. Very warm night. Have it extracting air out. Open the one below, and have it pulling air, cool air in the top here. You know about the wardrobe. Here is the light for the shower. So, and here's the water heater. Now the water, this is for when you want to work on 12 volt. This switch here is when you want to work the water heater on 220. When you're driving, if you're going to drive, you say an hour and a half, make sure that the system is vented. All the air is out. It can take a few minutes, and you do it once or twice. And when you have clear flowing water over here, you know that there's no bubbles in the tank below, and that the system is primed. And you see the draining here. It'll drain into the tank under the van, whereby there's a valve that I showed you that you can drain the system. Now I leave the valve open all the time doing all this. It's only really if you're on a campsite and stuff like that you might have to do that. You might have to close the valve. You can see now it is getting clear. So now the system is fairly primed, so you can turn it off. You'll hear the pump going off. Just make sure that that's clear. And turn on your drinking water. That's clear. So now, when you have all this done, before your journey, you might want to top up the valve or the tank again. Now, when you go to fill this tank, rather than humping water in, disconnect your shower head. Don't just disconnect this and shove it in here, because there's a rubber that you need to take out. Put it in there, turn on the tap up here, turn on the shower, fill it whatever height you want, and turn off the water, refit the plug, there's your pump for to flush the water, flush the tank, and then refit the shower head. Here you have this for drying clothes. You can either that'll come out, or you can leave it in there if it's not too much bother. You know about the shower. Right, what you have here is behind all the towels. Again, is a fuse board for the 12-volt socket, the shower, the Solaris, the USB port that's here for charging computer, charging phone. That's the 12-volt socket. Standard, you can get those, just plug into the cigarette lighter. Here's your fuses there. Microwave, induction hob, Jesus. And your diesel heaters here. Again, there should be a wire down here somewhere. There may be a wire down there somewhere. Again, spare that you find if you take this apart, if you ever need to run a wire down or do something, yourself. More storage up here. Your diesel heater. Basically, hit the button.
Start heating.
And it'll start heating. Press it again. It'll stop heating.
Thanks for using.
You can use.
Safe journey.
Thanks, Carl. You can do a lot of stuff with that. There's a remote control for it. Time it to come on at certain times if you're like before you come out of the pub and stuff. That seat falls down. Here's the extension lead that I made up for you. You will plug that into here, the inverter, and it will automatically switch over to 220. You won't have to turn on or turn off the inverter. This is where you turn it on. Actually, it's off now at the moment, so you turn it on here. And you see this switch is on, so you need to turn that off unless you want hot water, and especially when you're driving. Other than that, use the solar. So it's only the 220 is really for you're starting your journey. Hit 220, drive off in the van. By the time you get to where you're going, you'll have a full tank of water, and most likely the battery will be fully charged again. It's just quicker. There's a bigger element that because the batteries will most likely be full and the van is driving, that it won't tax the system, and you'll have a full tank of water and batteries when full batteries when you get there. Other than that, when you're parked up, try the 12 volt. It's a lower, smaller element. Takes a little bit longer, but if you're not in any hurry, especially in the mornings, you try and heat your water and stuff in the mornings so that you have the whole day with the sun. That's about it. You know about that. You can play around with this. I'll give you the leaflets and stuff. It'll basically tell you what's going out, what's in. This 399.9. But when you're not using the inverter, especially going to bed and stuff, turn it on, or turn it off, I should say. There's the switch up here for the fridge. Don't walk away, and by turning off the inverter, we'll actually turn off the fridge. So if you can figure out